I always say like Instagram's not a love language.
But it is for a lot of people.
It is for a lot of people. Yeah.
A lot of women love being posted on Instagram. Why is that?
I think it's the validation. I think we just are a society that really seeks out the approval of others. You know,
what is the biggest risk of a woman wanting their man to post about them consistently on Instagram?
Well, again, because you are increasing the chances of you caring a lot about what other people think, because you're reading all these comments. Oh, you guys look so good together. You guys, oh, what is that? And I always say in my experience in the public eye and in social media, that the positive comments are more dangerous than the negative ones.
Really? Why?
Because it's easy to dismiss negative ones. Like, yeah, they don't know me. Screw that, whatever. But, you know, after a few heart-eyed emojis and, oh my God, you're the cutest couple of all time, you know, whether they're positive or negative, they're all strangers.
Right.
They don't know me. You. They have no insight into my life. They can make guesses from what they've seen or whatever, but they don't really know me. But if I'm going to read a bunch of positive comments and take them to heart, well, then my subconscious is going to say, well, you can't pick and choose. You have to take the negative ones to heart as well. So by getting the positive ones and you read them, you're like, oh, yep, nope, I'm awesome. And then you're like, well, these are very valid comments because, you know, I am awesome.
Right.
And then all of a sudden that negative one hits you, and even if you say, oh, they don't know me, you've spent all this time not saying that about the positive ones.
They don't know you either.
But now your subconscious brain is taking it all to heart. And so that's why I always feel like the positive ones are setting you up for the negative comment.
Interesting.
It's really dangerous that way.
If there's a woman coming to you asking for advice, saying, you know, I've been in a relationship for 6 months with this guy and he hasn't posted about me yet on social media, on Instagram, and I really want him to. What should I say to get him to post about me, or how can I do it to get him to post about me? What advice would you give that woman about this conversation?
Well, you know, despite me saying it can be a risk, I do think there's something to be said about, you know, being with someone who gives you the sense that they're proud to be with you, that they want to share their relationship. You know, everything is about balance. And listen, we live in a world where a lot of things are online. So, you know, extremes scare me on anything. So if I've been dating this guy for 6 months, everything's great, but he refuses to post, it's a bit of a red flag.
Right.
You know,
unless he's just not on social media.
If he's not on social media. Yeah, that would be my first question is like, does he ever post?
Yeah, he's like, no.
Like, no. It's like, well, then I don't think there's an issue. If he's posting about his friends and all this stuff and he's pretty active and he's not posting about you, like that's definitely a red flag. So if it's the latter and he is an active poster and he's actively on there, I would just tell him what it would mean to you. You know, it would just mean a lot if you know, shared our relationship, and I want to feel like you're proud of our relationship. And I think that's an okay feeling, you know. I think the best thing we can do when we communicate to our loved ones is to say, like, this is how I feel about a situation. This would mean a lot. And then the big question is you give them an opportunity to see if they're willing to make you a priority.
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of relationships out there where people are accepting their partners not prioritizing them and choosing to stay in the relationship more out of fear of what else might be out there or what they don't think they can find, rather than feeling loved and feeling validated. It's funny how, you know, people will call in about relationships and they'll be frustrated with their partner. And one of my favorite questions I ask them is, what do you like or love about how they make you feel? It's so funny how a lot of times people won't have an answer to that, you know, and it's like, oh, well, you know, like if we have fun together and like, you know, he's really smart and he's really nice with people. I'm like, look, that's all great, but what do you love about how they make you feel? Because what I'm hearing from you is you spend a lot of time telling me that you're confused, you're often sad, You feel lonely, you know? So I'm just wondering what
Right.
about this relationship are you fighting for?
Yeah, and just because someone looks good on paper doesn't mean they're good for you.
Yeah. And they're not just they're not making, you know, what's the point of being in a relationship if they don't make you feel loved?
Ooh.
You know? And I think I was that person. I was in a lot of relationships where I asked myself, I don't even think she likes me, you know? Because I used to always prioritize chemistry over compatibility, which I think most of us do, because chemistry is sexy.
It is.
You know, it's fun. You know, gives you that
Explosive,
spark.
passionate.
You know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, chemistry is hard to trust, and chemistry can be very much manufactured.
Yes.
You know, people are just naturally charismatic. You know, tall, good looking. You know, can brighten up a room when they walk in. Chemistry can be found because of similar interests. People who go on The Bachelor have a natural chemistry because of a shared experience, being part of the same church or community. That can create chemistry between people. But that doesn't necessarily mean love. Now, compatibility, on the other hand, it's not as sexy, it's not as fun, but that you can trust a lot more. You know, do we enjoy being around each other? You know, Natalie is the first person that I've been in a relationship with where we have a lot in common, you know, where we're very compatible.
Right.
Because again, back to that love martyr, I didn't even prioritize compatibility at all. It was like, and I was like, well, it doesn't matter. We're in love. It doesn't matter. You know, I love her, and love will conquer all. But then every day it was just like, so what do you want to eat for dinner? Like, what should we watch?
It was
What
like
should we
complete
do?
opposites. Yeah. It was
Complete
like,
opposite. You know, and relationships are hard enough.
yeah.
You know, even when you're super compatible and you're on the same page most of the time, it still requires sacrifice and compromise. And if you have to do that for every decision, every day, it is exhausting. And yeah, I just, you know, we're a society that prioritizes chemistry far too much, and we have to give compatibility a little bit more of a spotlight.